Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux. We're doing Future Diary was the name of this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one is somewhat well known, is my understanding.
it it has one of the most famous yanderes in recent anime.
Yeah, I saw that face at the end of the episode, and I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've seen this show before in its entirety, and I've seen the abridged series too, which is also really funny. Watch the show, then watch the abridged series. Or if you don't care about the show, just watch the abridged series.
Worked for Sword Art. Alright. Um, so, Future Diary. This show starts with is it in medias res when it starts at the middle and then it just flashes back to the beginning? I think that's what that is.
In media res, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it does that, and the protagonist is supposedly dead, and there's a girl that's calling his name, and that's pretty much all we get. Um, Flashback after the opening sequence, which I can't tell whether it got a specialized song or not. I could be could go either way. Um,
Who really cares?
yeah, not really. It matters not a single iota to anyone in the Western world. We don't pay attention. Um, so it opens with a classroom, doing lesson ends, and some dudes are gonna go hang out, and they say, "Hey, you want to invite that guy?" And they're like, "No, he sucks." And they invite him anyway, and he's like, "No, sorry, I suck," and goes home. Uh, and then we get into monologue of how much he
He sucks.
sucks. Yeah. So
So we have Yukiteru Amano, and he is a weirdo, to say the least. He doesn't really have many friends because
he
of
chooses not to.
reasons. And so as a result, he has nothing to do, and so he keeps a diary of just random observations that he sees throughout his day.
Not even just random observations, just literally everything. He walks down the street and he sees a rock in his path, and he's like, "I'm gonna go to the right of it this time. Today, I'm gonna go right," and then he goes right.
Because it's something for him to do because he has no friends.
This all seems easily remediable.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, yeah. Can't remember the exact character reasons for it, but
I'm pretty sure whenever they come across, I wouldn't care.
yeah, it's pretty much he's kind of antisocial, and it just ended up this way.
I mean, the internet's a thing at this point. They have flip phones, and that was a thing in the early 2000s. That the internet is a thing. It's like safe haven for antisocial types. It worked for me. Just saying.
Hmm. Yeah. What is this? I think this came out. The manga first came out in 2006.
Mm.
So different times.
Yeah, but still, at those times, the antisocial types were flocking to. Well, everyone was flocking to the internet at that point. That was MySpace era. Um,
Yeah, but I don't know about Japan, so
they had similar stuff. Um, just a completely separate set of like social networks appeared in Japan and did exactly the same thing, just at the same time. It's really weird. Anyway, yeah. This is a problem that he has that is probably easily solved, but he decides not to because he wants to be boring, presumably. So he spends all his time day in and day out just writing in his diary on his phone, which like How do people write on phones? I still don't get this. It's not even. It's not even with like the keyboard and everything. It's
Wait, you still
digital.
can't do it. You can't do it now.
The Notes app on the smartphone, but on old flip phones, you could write notes.
Yeah, I could totally easily write in phones back in the day.
Yeah,
but
I had a flip phone. I could do that.
I found it easier forever because I got so used to it. Like switching back to an actual switching back to an actual like keyboard on the smartphone was weird at first.
Yeah,
I was so used to typing on the phone. It was easy.
Yeah.
You're insane. You crazy bananas.
For a while, I used to think it was faster, and then I realized I'm an idiot. This is faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the thought process. So Yukitaro Amano says, but I'm not alone. I have my special imaginary friend. And he sits on his bed.
Of his blanket.
Yeah. And he closes his eyes and Deus.
Wow, you have some imagination, kid.
You have some imagination.
Like, how many Japanese kids know any Latin? Like, literally any.
I'm not even talking about just the Latin. I'm talking about, you saw this thing. This is what you have in your head as an imaginary friend? And your imaginary friend has a cohort? You came up with this in your own mind.
He doesn't believe it's real, so...
Well, there's a second question. This is very elaborate for something that you know is not real at this point. Well, how old is he? 14? 15?
When did you start writing Kenshi?
Like fan fiction?
Like anything.
I don't know. Like 10?
So, yeah. He has an imaginary friend that is a weird skull thing.
God.
He already acknowledges as the god of whatever.
God of time and space.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you're gonna have an imaginary friend, just go balls out, I guess. Yeah, and it has a little weird thing that we don't really get a lot of information on. It's just kind of there.
It spits corn at him or something.
Yeah, and it makes a mess, and it makes him pissy, basically. And he, Amano, that was his name?
Yeah,
right?
or Yuki. Yukiteru.
I have a name that I remember. I'm going to stick with it. He has a conversation with Deus and is like, yeah, everything sucks and I'm bored and I don't have a purpose.
Why do I want this guy to win again?
Dunno. God dude's like, you want a purpose? I can, alright. Boom. And that's, yeah, gets a text, I think, from...
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm imagining that text. That's dumb.
So the next day rolls around, and he...
Well, there is a quick cut to a girl being chased and getting killed by a serial killer, basically.
Yeah. So he wakes up, looks at his phone, and it has a diary entry for the day already. And it basically outlines his whole morning. He gets a double bullseye on one of his dozen or so dartboards that he has on his wall for some reason. He likes darts enthusiast. Fair enough.
He loves them darts.
He carries a set of darts with him around at school, apparently, which raises some questions, but okay.
Japanese schools are more lax. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I'm going with. They don't check you.
I don't know. I don't know whether they check you, but they do actually have a bit of a zero tolerance policy on weapons. I don't know whether darts would count. Anyway.
Yeah, they count.
Yeah, they should.
Actual darts?
Yeah. So it says he'll get a double bullseye, and there's a report on the news about a serial killer and that it went through his school to get away. And you're like, oh, that's weird. He throws a
And
dart
he
and he gets a
runs
double
into
bullseye.
yeah.
Huh! What a coinky-dink. So, I'm gonna have a good day.
Yeah.
You mean you're gonna have a good day because you do the thing that you know how to do because you sit in your room all day and do nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that means. I guess if he's going back to his room to do that, he'll have a good day. I don't know.
So, he goes out, sees the news report on TV about serial killer in his school, and he's like, what a coinky dink. So he goes to school, sees another entry, and it's like, I'm going to see what's his name and what's his name. And then he sees what's his name and what's his name. They should be in club right now. I have a diary that tells the future.
Awesome. I have the answers to the math pop quiz.
Yep.
And I know when the bullies are going to beat me up. So I'm going to avoid that.
Yep. I have the answers to everything. I win at life. Literally a thing he says.
Yeah.
So, I forget what happens next.
Yeah, it gets explained to him through Deus that he has this future diary, and this future diary is also him. He's now in this kind of situation where if this diary breaks, he will die.
Hope we had that warranty on the phone. Jesus.
Yeah.
Data protection.
It's fine. Yo, damn hard it is to break a flip phone. It's nearly impossible.
Imagine if it was like
I miss
you crack your. Imagine if you crack your iPhone screen, you get severe lacerations.
Makes sense.
That'd just be bad.
And yeah, so his phone is now his life. If the phone is destroyed, he's destroyed. He has no future. If his future is destroyed, his future is in the phone. So then something else happens.
He's in class, and pink-haired girl, is playing with Clay because she's just, I don't know, she's a happy girl. And it's in the when he after class, he's like, wait, this Clay is in the shape of my imaginary helper person. What?
And then he looks at his phone, I think was next, and in it just says, hey, the serial killer, and then dead end, basically.
Yeah, the serial killer's gonna get after me, and he looks, and there's is staying there, and he's like, oh, and she's like, you're one too, aren't you? And he's like, oh, well, no, I'm getting out of here.
Yep. Runs away. If memory serves, he ends up trying to get to the roof or something. Is that how that happened?
He's running through the streets and everything, and she keeps showing up at every corner. He's like, how are you doing this? And he gets into this, he runs into this random building. And,
and they get into he gets into the lift, and then she catches the doors, goes into the lift with him.
And she's like, silly, I'm not the serial killer. I just have this diary that tells me what you do every 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, he tries to get off at the 14th floor, and she stops him and sends the elevator up to the roof, or up to another floor.
You'll die on the 14th floor.
Yeah, you'll die on the 14th floor, because it says here, he goes to the 14th floor and then gets killed by the serial killer. So
let's go to the 17th.
Don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, and then then they go to the roof and they're like, okay, so we need to come up with a plan so that you don't die and such. So he has a phone too that is super important to him, that is exactly the same as ours. So if we destroy that, we probably win. Like, even if it doesn't end him like it would end you, then it would still be removing one of his advantages because he can't just follow us anymore. And she says, "You have darts. Are you having a good day today?" Which has implications.
So they go up to the 17th floor, up to the roof, and she's like, "I got a plan." And so they each get off to the sides of the roof, and he's using the reflection of his phone to track where the killer is at.
Yep.
And once the killer is like, "Oh gosh darn it, I need to look at my phone,"
Gets frustrated,
throws a dart,
looks at the phone,
throws a dart,
and he warps into a singularity, essentially.
To be exact, he throws a dart at the phone, and then a hole opens up first in the serial killer, and then he just kind of... So, kind of implies that there's a connection between how the phone's destroyed and how they vanish from existence.
So I guess, if your iPhone screen does crack, then that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know whether I don't think there was an iPhone out at this point. I don't think smartphones were a thing yet.
2006? No.
Yeah. It was a couple years before, I think. And then we get taken to another imaginary, quote-unquote, world.
Which I'm pretty sure he knows is real now. He's
yeah, he definitely knows it's real because he's giving out the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so now we can get the survival game started. Thanks, Yuki, for killing the first guy. You've really got that go-getter attitude. All of you gonna die.
You guys are scrubs. You need to get your game faces on. And
yeah.
To be honest, if I had been the main character in the situation, I'd have been rubbing it in so hard. I'd have actually done something to get a bullseye on my back at that point.
And so the thing about this is, if you win all of this and you kill everybody, congratulations, you get to become God. So, yay.
Like, how much fun does Deus look like he's having on a day-to-day basis exactly? I don't know, it doesn't seem like that great a gig, to be honest. A lot of responsibility going on there.
Yeah. Well, it's either that or die, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, upon hearing that Yukiteru killed the first person, they're all like, "Man, that's really interesting. I guess we'll have to see what you're made of, kid." And they're all like, "We'll keep an eye out on you." All these boss character silhouettes.
Including one that has a pompadour, which I'm kind of looking forward to seeing.
It is a pretty sweet pomp. From the
silhouette. So, then the survival game really kicks off there.
Yeah, and then we get, I'm going to call it the Yandere shot. It is the one that probably everyone has seen and knows.
Yeah, the Yandere face that has been, when this first came out, everybody parodied it.
Yeah, it was the Yandere meme, essentially.
Yeah. So it was really interesting for me to see this show after already having seen it, just to watch the first episode again, because there's a lot in here that pertains to later on that makes perfect sense now, which I thought was pretty nice, at least. Yeah, it's a very interesting series. Some the thing with the diaries is it changes depending on what type of predictions you get. Changes on, say, how you would write your diary. So the serial killer would write about, "Oh, hey, I killed this person at this place." He would have his own conquest diary of people he killed. So that's how he would find people and then kill them, because he would have already done it in the future. So they each have their own rules that they go by.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. And there are some serious video game boss style characters, because they're very eccentric.
Does the pompadour guy hit people with his pompadour?
No.
No.
Oh, that was a thing in Air Gear, and I was really into that. It was awesome.
Air Gear.
That was a good show.
Air Gear was the one where Obama became a Japanese high school.
That was in the manga, not in the show, but yes.
I know. I read the entire manga for Air Gear.
Why?
Because I did.
Because it's faster.
No, I mean, why did you read all of it? There's a lot of points in that manga. You should just be like, no, just stop.
Because I felt like seeing it through to the end. I honestly don't remember much of the later parts of that series.
It became nonsense, that's probably why. So yeah, Future Diary, the show we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah. So, fun show. I like it a lot. But it's nothing like, it's not a masterpiece or anything. But it was an interesting watch. Main character does grow some balls later on, but he's kind of a wimpy wimp right now.
It's too late.
Patient, we haven't gotten a lot of your thoughts, I assume, because connection/mic troubles from yesterday. So
Neither. It was just that you were covering it all so well, I didn't have a need to step in. For my thoughts, I had looked up the summary for this a while back. One of my friends recommended it to me. I can't remember exactly when. I didn't watch the series, but I know the gist of its conclusion, at least. It's, I remember it being a happy ending, but with enough of a downer amount before it that it seemed to not make sense that it could be that happy as it ended. But as for what I see from the show itself, well, I'm definitely thinking more of Death Note, looking at days. It sort of makes me think more about the Shinigami from Death Note.
yeah, it does give the impression that it's cribbing a little bit from Death Note in terms of the setup and such.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last week, I remembered this as being a cross between the plots of Death Note and Zatch Bell. Everyone trying to kill each other in order to become king, to become God. It's basically the two plots seamlessly woven together. And I mean, I don't dislike it. It's an interesting premise, and I might keep watching the show, but...
Yeah, I would say the Wikipedia plot summary doesn't do much. Because, that is brushing over pretty much everything in the show.
I mean, from what I've seen, it does seem to be like a really, really high concept show. Like, the concept is everything, the characters are window dressing. Protagonist is probably incredibly, incredibly boring for a very good reason, because he's not especially important compared to what happens and the fights that go on and the competition between the different people.
And those like fights and everything, I think, are done really well in this show specifically, and you get introduced to a lot of much more interesting characters than Yukiteru. So it kind of works out, I feel.
Yeah.
But Yukiteru himself he's the relatable insert yourself type of character. There's not much to him.
Yeah. I get the impression this isn't the kind of show where it's about interpersonal character drama or anything like that. This is, you watch the competition, see cool things happen, basically.
Wait, that dude was supposed to be relatable?
For somebody in Japan, probably.
He likes darts, remember? relatable.
Nobody likes darts, even the drunk people who play darts.
No.
I mean, the way I look at it, maybe he's relatable to introverts. Maybe that's the point.
Either way, he's the protagonist of this video game through battling boss fights.
Can I trade pro tags? I want Pompadour guy.
You know what?
I'll take the Yandere. I'll take the Yandere as the MC at this point.
Yeah.
She is very much closer to being the main character than our main character in terms of how much focus she gets. So, yeah.
I'm like 90% sure her entire diary is him.
Her entire diary is about him, and she's surprisingly good at fighting.
From what little I remember, I don't remember the exact details of the ending, but as far as I remember, it does make a lot of sense at the end exactly why she's so obsessed with him, and and why she seems more than a little crazy.
Yeah, everything about her gets explained. It's a little part of it is kind of dumb, but everything about her gets explained.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
her infatuation with him does not make sense in the first episode. It's like, oh my god, you guys, this white painted wall, it's so beautiful. I love it so much.
There's a lot of like I get that that's the impression that's given off immediately, but there is a lot of backstory that explains that you won't get until very near the end.
You guys, it's drying, you guys.
Let's watch it together.
All right. I think that's enough. I think we've done the show justice.
If you don't want to watch more of the show, at least Bridge, because that's just great. It's just stupid and fun.
Okay. So we
But the abridged spoils the entire show, so it's a choice.
Yeah. It's an abridged series. That's how they work.
Right. Kenshi, ready?
Yeah. All right. For the magic number this week, to start off, we will begin with...
Is the magic number.
It actually is 3.
Oh, really? Told you. By the way,
too good.
C!
73.
Okay. That's just uncanny.
Yeah.
All right. 52.
I also have a future diary, by the way. Don't tell anyone.
The winner is Codebreaker.
Codebreaker.
Wait, say that again?
Code::breaker.
Okay, I think I've heard of this before.
2012. That show image does not look like a 2012 show. Though, in fairness, it does look like one of the compositions for like one of those old-fashioned movie posters.
Okay. Riding the bus one day, Koji Sakura,
Wow, that's amazing.
looks out the window to see people burned alive with blue fire, and a boy her age who's unharmed and standing over the people. She comes back to the site the next day, and there are no corpses or evidence of any kind of murder, just a small fire. She then goes to class to find there's a new transfer student, Ogami Ray, who looks exactly like the boy she saw before and wears a black glove, only on his left hand. Ogami is a code breaker, one who does not exist. He is a seemingly cold-blooded killer who follows the principle of an eye for an eye, to use evil against evil. Convinced that killing is not right, Sakura Koji sets out to stop him and penetrate his icy heart.
So it's Magic Punisher.
But with the guy who's a Shuni.
And a girl who's the main character trying to get him to see the error of his ways.
So Japanese Karen Page.
Yeah.
I remember I saw this anime and then I was like, I'm not gonna watch this. That's how I remember this anime.
This is from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You remember this?
I remember the ones I don't want to watch specifically for some reason.
Because you watch everything else.
Yeah.
If you all want to veto this, then fine. But honestly, looking at it myself, it doesn't look like the best show, but it doesn't seem bad enough to warrant a veto.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
I'm not going to veto this,
Oh,
but Sakura Kochi Sakura is a silly name.
Agreed.
Do you think they call her Saku? Oh, she must get so much shit. Oh my god.
I'll tell you what, if I see that one time and she's cool with it, I'm shutting the show off immediately, and I'll tell you as much next week.
No. Okay.
There are certain levels of cheese I'm willing to handle. That is apparently a toe over the line for me.
But I like cheese.
Yeah. Nice mozzarella.
I prefer Monterey Jack.
Okay. Sure.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Stop talking about cheese, please.
All right. So, the anime next week is Code Breaker.
Yeah. Get ready for Out of the Edge. All of the edge.
Clothes, just, on a pizza. It's pretty.
Oh, yes. That is delicious.
Yeah.
Guys, going over this yesterday.
I have actually eaten today. So, that's... I ate for free today. That was great. Restaurant comped my meal. It was great.
Yeah, he got a free expensive breakfast now.
Yeah.
I think we're done here.
Good day for me today.
Yeah, you should carry darts around with you now.
Shout out to Coast to Coast.
All right.
Casey can't throw darts. That would be way too dangerous.
We didn't even talk about that. Why the hell is he carrying darts?
I have no answer for that, and I watched the entire show.
He has pockets, dude.
Yeah, but why?
He has a specific holster for his darts, and I don't know why.
Well, I mean, is it any stranger than someone who has a gun license carrying concealed wherever they go?
I guess it's because he gets bullied that he carries darts around, but what does that say about him?
Wow.
He's ready for action, I guess?
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, okay.
If I'd have known that, I'd have been more being a wuss. He's not a wuss. He throws darts at people that come after him.
There's some very brutal dart throws in this series.
Should have put that in the first episode. I'd have been down.
And I mean, come on. Darts, you don't see that kind of weapon very much, or at least in my experience. It is a pretty useful weapon.
All I will say is that in this show, somebody will get a dart to the eye.
Ouch. That's painful just to hear about it.
I suddenly feel the urge to put a dart-wielding character in my One Piece fic. So that's a plus.
Oh, good.
More darts.
Yeah. I'm going to be down a sniper anyway. All right.
Wait. What was that?
I'm sorry, what? No, nothing, never mind. Yeah, that was Anime Reflux. We're doing Code Breakers next time. And that's, yeah. So, thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next time. Yeah.